Uh, I don't know what just happened, but our intro just cut off midstream. But this is the Loco Sports Lowdown. Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr with you tonight. That was a weird gremlin to start the night, Wes. But we're off and running on the Loco Sports Lowdown. A little bit of a false start Monday night edition. So we'll wrap up the high school football landscape across the Loco on Friday night. It was a really fun night, and we had some kind of lopsided games, but we had several competitive contests and overall just like a good vibes night. Like
Yeah,
everybody won, like it
I'm really
felt like
excited with that.
other
Yep.
than the Buford game, that one was a heartbreaker, but for the
Mm.
most part, the Loco teams
Hey, and even
showed out.
so, they fought back. They fought back to
They
tie
sure
it.
did.
Look, they were far from out of it, but they made it a
Yeah.
game until the very end. So credit to that against a good Fort Dorchester team.
But among the best vibes of the weekend were from Hilton Head Prep, Sea Pines. They were celebrating in Sea Pines for the first time in 1,080 days, according to Tyler
Oh,
Britschke, which is unbelievable that they had to wait that long. But so happy for those kids. And we're going to celebrate with them a little bit tonight because we got Coach Doug McFadden and offensive defensive lineman Jake Sheahan going to join us, already waiting in the green room. So we'll chat with them here in just a little bit
also
about the
got
big win.
some reports from the weekend too to talk about as well with
We
girls
do.
golf. Yep.
Yeah, some
And
girls golf. May River showing out, although they did get beaten. They got beaten at the Lady Blue Jacket, finished second there, and then won today at the Charleston Classic. Claire Green taking the individual honors in both of those events. So I'm going to get Claire booked this week. She's
Claire
definitely
Bear.
earned. Yeah, Claire Bear's earned a repeat visit on the show after two championships in 2 days. That's incredible
Wow.
stuff to start her
Wow.
season. Yeah, right. Wrapped one up on Sunday and then went to Charleston and won another one today in a playoff. So heck of a weekend for her. And that's kind of the gist of it. There was some volleyball tonight. I saw Buford's Own had the Whale Branch game. Whale Branch got a win over Military Magnet. So we can check out the highlights of that for a minute later on if we have time. But other than that, that's what we got on tap tonight. So let's shout out. How was your weekend, by the way, Wes? I didn't ask you. Wes, how was your weekend? Can you hear me, Wes?
Oh, I had a good one. I had a good one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Uh,
Gremlins were getting you.
yeah. Yeah. No, my signal's going on and off. I don't know if I'm behind or ahead, but technology is always it seems like tonight it's been my internet's going in and out right now. So I'll try best to kind of stay with you right now.
Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. 10-4. So we're on the same page then.
Okay.
So let's shout out our all-star sponsor who presents the Loco Sports Lowdown, Mickelson Law Firm. They've been with us since the beginning, starting in 2017 when we launched Loco Sports. Mickelson jumped on as our first sponsor, and they're still our biggest and most loyal. We appreciate them for all their support. They're our presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage and the official real estate closing attorney of Loco Sports. And if you have any legal needs around the Low Country, you can call on Mickelson Law Firm, all-star sponsor of Loco Sports. And although they present our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, tonight they present our Hilton Head Prep guests. And I think everybody in the Loco, including the Hilton Head Christian folks, are happy about what happened on Friday night. So we welcome Doug McFadden and Jake Sheahan. What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Not much. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Welcome back, Coach. It's great to have you back. It was great to text with you over the weekend and congratulate you. And it's been a long time coming for these guys. And obviously, the streak was only one for you. But the weight that's lifted off these guys, it had to be so rewarding to see them see the success that they've been working so hard for.
It was. It really was. It was one of those things. I mean, the way that we won that football game, I mean, you couldn't have wrote the script any better. We've been working. I started April 1st, and the guys getting in the weight room, just building bonds, building relationships. I mean, we've done a lot of things over the course of the summer, from going out fishing to paintballing, but just building bonds to be able to get in, have opportunities like this one, to where you get into a game, you're down 13-0 in the first quarter. But what I was looking for is just how do we respond? And the kids at the end of the first quarter looked around at him, and it was kind of like, ask the question: do you guys want to do this? Do we want to play? And man for man, they said yes, and they went out and they responded, and it was a great night, great victory, great game. Jake Sheahan, oh my gosh, the game he played, I mean, it it was unbelievable. I was happy to be a part of it, happy to be able to have probably the best seat in the house on the sideline watching them.
Jake, how great
Yeah,
did it
I mean,
feel,
just
man? I mean, so many games that you guys were in it up to a point, and then the heartbreak sets in. But I guess just try to give us some semblance of an idea of the relief and the satisfaction you felt Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, losing a lot of games, maybe like 30 in a row, is very hard mentally, but I don't know, having the relief of having that one win on our back. And I mean, we never gave up no matter what it was. Even when we were down a lot or start of the second half, we never gave up. I mean, that's what won us the game on Friday. So we're used to never giving up.
We'll let Wes get in there when his last.
yeah, I mean, just great to see for you guys. I saw some. Yeah, I saw some glimpses of it in that first game you guys played against Buford Academy. It's kind of obviously it didn't go the way you wanted it to, but I saw some promising moments throughout that game. So what did you learn from playing that first one on the road against BA, and what did you take with you as you reset and got the job done and ended that streak at Sea Pines on Friday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we played our best game in both games, but definitely in Buford Academy, it was our first game we've ever played together. I mean, we missed a scrimmage. We had the hurricane. I mean, that affected us, but I feel like we still have a lot of things to work on. And it wasn't our best game ever, but we pulled out the win.
Yeah, that's a good point. You guys didn't even get a scrimmage, which
Right.
is really tough to, the first time you're doing it live to be against, especially against a quality opponent like Buford Academy. So I'm sure that week of preparation going into this game was huge. And now, Coach, we talked this weekend about how the schedule lines up for you, and it's very unique that you play two and then have two off. But you couldn't have drawn it up any better because now you guys have this boost of confidence and momentum and something to build off of, and you have 2 weeks to go back to the drawing board, maybe coax some guys out of the hallways who saw their buddies celebrating on Friday night, and see what you can see if you can get this thing rolling downhill.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, when you look at the schedule, once again, I mean, I love it personally. To have 2 weeks up under our belt, and like Jake said, those two games that we played in, there was spurs in those games where we played good football, but we haven't had a chance to put a good half together of offense, defense, just compatible football. So now we're back at the drawing board, and we look at it as if we're back in camp. And we know what we need to clean up, and we're just working and building. The focus is on ourselves right now, more so than anything, and just building depth within the kids that we have on the roster. We have 24 kids out there that they show up, they work, and we're just working to continue to build depth and confidence with the guys that we have. And um,
Coach
what
from the
happens
bottom
happens.
up.
Yes.
Yep.
Only as good as the last guy.
I mean, when
right?
you talk about the significance of one game, certainly it's one of many, but I think in this situation that you were in, getting that win on Friday meant everything to this group. So kind of how did it feel like, just we talked about immediately after, but just going into this week on Monday? I mean, just the vibes, the excitement has to be at such a high for this group, and that kind of motivates you to do it again and keep doing what you did last week. So it kind of like how excited has this weekend and Monday been for you, and how do you kind of use that to carry things in the right direction going forward?
For me, just having a chance to talk to my wife about some of the wins that I've had in my career, and I was at the Lafayette Lehigh 150 rivalry played at Yankee Stadium, and this is right there with that. I mean, I had no idea. I mean, we had to play down to the last minute and a half before we realized that we were pulling it off and getting into the victory. So I didn't have time to focus on the water bath that came along with that. Just watching the kids, I mean, I love the group of kids that I work with, and watching those guys celebrate and run around. Like a lot of people talk about me. No, but it's not about me. It's about these guys. I didn't play one down. Didn't play a snap, didn't force a fumble, didn't recover a fumble, didn't pick off a pass. None of that stuff for myself. But to be able to see Wyatt Butler, to hold him in my arms as he's crying and the tears come down multiple times, like that, the emotion from that game, it didn't matter. My wife came up and it was like, it's like winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yes, it was for us and for what these kids have been through. And now to have the 2 weeks to where we can start to focus back and to settle down and just have the experience of waking up and having a victorious Monday.
That's what I was gonna say, Jake. It had to be the best Monday of school ever. Like, normally Monday it's kind of tough to get up and go to school, but today probably had a little spring in your step. You're gonna get a few fist bumps and high fives in the hallway, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. A lot of fist pumps, high fives, congratulations. It was amazing.
Yeah, had to feel good. So you guys get a little break, but Jake, I guess take us through some of the guys that have, been through the wars with you guys, who battled through these last 2 seasons along with you, without a win, and were a part of it on Friday night. Who are the guys that you were looking for at the final whistle to go embrace?
Well, I mean, the people who I'm in the trenches with, the juniors this year haven't won a single high school game.
Right.
It's crazy. They haven't won a single game in their high school career. So I went to them first and saying thank you, like, love you guys. Like, they were really like happy. I've never seen anybody as happy as them. But like Tyler, Danny G, like they're all Wyatt Harmer. Yeah, he put so much work in, and like so happy to see them succeed.
Same.
Yeah, that means a lot. And yeah, I mean, you talk about the upperclassmen, those juniors, those seniors who have gone through some really tough years, and it gets to you emotionally, and then to have it, go your way and stand there on the victorious side is, I mean, it's just an amazing feeling for those, especially those upperclassmen. They had to put in the work throughout, and now to see it get rewarded at this point of the season, and still with so much more to go, it's got to be a lot of excitement that you all are feeling right now. But I'm just so proud of what this team has done, and still a lot more of this season to go. So, kind of, what do you want to focus on in terms of how this team is progressing as you move into these region games coming up?
We're focusing on individual. I mean, we didn't play our best game on Friday, and we all know that. So we're still just looking at it piece by piece, looking at our footwork on the O-line, going through film. It's a blessing that we have 2 weeks in a row to work on our individual craft.
Yeah. That must
I mean, like you said, Coach, it's like training camp all over again, except you've already played 2 full, real, countable football games. So that's just unbelievable. And I wanted to go back to something I was thinking when you were talking earlier, Coach. You talked about you didn't do it. You're not out there. You didn't play a single down. You also didn't put in the work that resulted in this. You laid out a blueprint. You told them what to do, but you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. They had to go in and put in the work and get out the results. So the credit all goes to you guys for sure. But certainly, Coach, getting a big assist with giving you the blueprint. Paulie Smith says you forgot about him, Jake.
Oh, sorry, Paulie.
You probably just blanked out. I blank out and forget a name
yeah.
from time to time too. And if we could get an injured kicker shout out next time, Colin Paris would appreciate that. So again, I love the interactivity from the Hilton Head Prep crew tonight.
24 strong. 24 strong.
Tyler, appreciate you. He got spoiled or foiled by the autocorrect. He called you Jabbly, and then corrected himself. So good stuff. Good stuff. No, looking ahead to the rest of the season, I looked at the schedule going in and thought, man, like there could be 3 or 4 or 5 wins on here, or there could be none if you didn't get one, like early. You may start to lose the team a little bit as the losing streak goes on. But I really feel like, Coach, and maybe Jake can speak to this too, the confidence boost from getting one early. I think it sets you guys up in the league you play in to be very competitive the rest of the way. I think you're going to be in a lot of games.
It's hard to win a football game. It is hard to win a football game.
Amen, brother.
And so with us, I mean, we're not thinking ahead. I'm not going to allow those guys to think ahead about what's down the road. We're just a day at a time, and all about trying to win the day. At the same time, we talk about being 1-0 at the end of the week. We're fortunate right now. We have an opportunity to be 1-0, even though we don't play on Friday. But what do we do with the practices? Do we get better in our individual?
Right.
And so that's our process right now. To be honest, I know who we have in a couple of weeks, but I'm not focused on those guys. We're not focused on those. The focus is on us.
Play the game, not the opponent.
Yes, sir.
Amen to that.
That's important. To take the mindset, one game at a time, one practice at a time, even. I mean, it's as you knew, at the start of this journey, it's going to be a process, and it's going to be a step-by-step kind of opportunity for both the players and yourself as a coach to climb that mountain, I guess, in a way. But you're certainly making a ton of progress so far. But how fun has it been being a part of and embracing the challenge of taking over a program like this with still a lot of potential, and also talk to how cool it's been to have a guy like Steve Fuller out there on the sidelines coaching you guys up?
It's been amazing. I mean, the one thing for myself is I'm learning every day. I'm learning every week. I mean, the things that happened that first week for me, and Jake could tell you, I mean, we had a transition going through my first hurricane, being here, and then, trying to figure out the heat index and dealing.
That was an easy one, Coach. That was an easy one. We'll have worse.
And so we're learning, but we also talk about adjust, adapt, overcome. And so on a daily, we have a plan, and we're ready to adjust, adapt, and that's how we approach football games also. And so I'm having so much fun. And then the staff that we have, I mean, Steve Fuller is, oh my gosh, that's Steve Fuller.
Yeah, right.
That's Super
He
Bowl
was
Shuffle.
in the Super Bowl Shuffle.
That's Steve Fuller. So Steve, I mean, and it's our kids. I think he'll tell you the same thing. He's fired up to come to work with our kids every day. And so we have good kids. He has on the offensive side of the ball, we have some talent over there. And like Jake said, the things that we've been able to do in practice and glimpses of what we've been able to show in practices, we have to put that together now on Fridays, and looking forward to it. We have other guys, Mark McDonald, Eric Grahovic, Wendell Harmer. I mean, we have a good staff and good guys to where you want to come to work. Tommy Myers, and a lot of these guys have been around prep football for a long time also. I received a message from Dave Adams after the victory, and a lot of these guys have worked with Coach Adams, and so it's been unbelievable. Just the amount of support I think that we have from our parents, from the administration, everybody, and it's about these kids. These kids work hard, and they've shown it
Yep.
throughout that losing streak. And I told you guys before when I was on the call with you, when I watched the tape last year, they played hard. They played
did.
hard. Now it's just giving them direction, and I'm having fun. I'm having fun. I put it like we're not close to being who we're gonna be.
Yeah, amen. Yeah.
We're not close yet.
Just getting started.
We're just getting started.
That's for
There's
sure.
a lot of work ahead of us, but guys like Jake, we have a good group of guys, 24 guys that I love being around.
Well, they're cracking me up in the comments. I'm trying to focus on what you're saying, but I'm just dying laughing reading the comments over here and trying to keep up with them. But it seems like you've got some serious chemistry building. And as you know, Coach, you've been around a long time. You know, every year, every roster is different, and sometimes the talent level doesn't add up to the results you expect, because the chemistry isn't there. They're not playing for each other. They're not, really bought in. And it feels like, you guys are checking that box. So, typically when that happens, you're going to exceed expectations for what you would expect for your talent level. So, it seems like I got a great thing going there. But Jake, we got to get you back in here because your boys are killing you in the comments right now. We got to let you say something. So, looking ahead, do you feel like you guys are prepared now to go compete every week and like you've learned how to win? You feel like there's a weight lifted, like we know how to get over the hump now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We know how to win now. I mean, it's been a while, but we know how to win. We know the feeling, and we're going to be striving for that feeling every single game because it's a great feeling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
when it happens, just let it.
It's intoxicating, brother. It is intoxicating.
It really is.
It feels so good. And just the feeling of putting in work and then seeing the result come out. I mean, it's just, that's what it's all about. That's why you do it is to see that process take place. So I couldn't be happier for you guys, man. I was so excited. Danny Fernandez sent me the DM and said it's 19-13 in the fourth quarter. And then he just left me hanging. And I was like, did they win? Because I was afraid when he didn't send an update that was bad news, right? Like, no news is bad news. But he said, yeah, they won 19-13. I'm like, oh, let's go. We got to get these guys on the show on Monday to celebrate that. But you mentioned the game-winning pick six. We saw it earlier, but we'll cue it up again here. This is a wild play. This is a great play by Butler.
Oh, great hands. Oh, man. Tremendous. Oh. Look at the crowd, too. Fans are loving it. Teammates are getting hyped on the sidelines. Man, I wish I was. It's hard to go. It's hard to get everywhere. But
oh, no, this wasn't the one. It was the fumble recovery before where Coach comes in with the
yeah.
I saw that one. That's good stuff, that's awesome, man.
Tyler Ritchie with the tip.
Tyler claiming the tip.
Set it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you beat me.
Hey, that's what makes it happen right there. Great play.
I love this.
Tyler.
Danny might have celebrated more than the entire team combined.
He is the heart. He is the heart and soul of that team. He's awesome. That kid.
You wanted that one.
Yeah. No, that's the guy. I feel happy for everyone, but maybe the happiest is I feel for Danny. That guy's awesome. He'll always say hi to me when I'm over there at prep. Man, I wish I could have been there. Oh.
This is an excellent suggestion here. A prep Super Bowl shuffle.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. If they play deep into November, if they go on an epic run, think about it.
I think we got 2 weeks off. I think now's a great time to get in the studio.
No doubt.
If you can get Fuller to reprise his role, that would be unbelievable.
That would be something. That would go viral.
Jake, that's on you.
I do need to ask you, Jake, about Pokemon Go, because Stanyard is insistent that I ask you about Pokemon Go.
Oh, I don't know what he's talking about.
Sure you don't. Sure you
No, I
don't.
have no idea. I mean, talk to Ramsey about it. Ramsey Stanyard, his brother,
Big Pokemon Go guy.
big Pokemon
Hey,
Go guy.
I'm not gonna lie. For a period of time, I was pretty into Pokemon Go, and if there was a
I
Pikachu
remember
nearby,
that
I
initial
would stop
cruise.
my car and go try to catch that Pikachu.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that was
that
it
had to
was
happen.
yeah. I was in college back then. I remember that. That was fun.
You playing at halftime, Jake?
No, J-Dub said there was a raid nearby to get my
Oh,
mind off this stuff.
oh,
There's a
very nice.
Charizard apparently.
Charizard. Oh shoot.
Oh,
Charizard.
dang.
That's pull over the car material
Yeah.
right there. Charizard. I'm old enough that I remember when we played Pokemon on the Game Boy,
Right.
way back in the
Ah,
day.
yes.
And
Yes.
I worked in a store where in college where we did we sold new and used DVDs, video games, and CDs. And people would come trade in their Pokemon cartridges, and then people would come in and they would want to put everyone in and see which ones were saved on there before they buy a used one, because sometimes they'd find a rare one. So yeah, I go way back with Pokemon. It was interesting too, because we'd have bands come in there on the road, and they would do that. They'd come in and check all the used Pokemons because they were all like going around playing Pokemon on the tour bus or whatever. So Jackson thinks,
funny.
Coach, you might be a little confused right now. You might be wondering what we're talking about
I
right
have
now.
no idea what you guys are talking about.
All right. Well, that's probably a good time to wrap it up and let you guys get on with your night. But we appreciate you coming on tonight, and we're just so happy for you guys seeing some success, and look forward to seeing you get back out there in a couple weeks. See if you can get a new streak going in the other direction.
Thank you. I appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
and I appreciate what you guys do. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. Jake, congrats, man. I know you've been
Thank
working
you.
a long time for that one. Take care, boys.
See ya.
Congrats, guys.
Doug McFadden and Jake Sheahan, well-deserved celebration this weekend.
Yeah.
Still going. They're
Yeah.
still,
Oh, it's
still
Victory
celebrating,
Monday for
obviously.
sure over there.
No doubt about it. Good stuff. Well, the MVP sponsors of Loco Sports, it starts with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Loco Sports. She is with Keller Williams of the Low Country. She'd love to help you find your place in the Loco or upgrade to a bigger, better place in the Loco. That's Megan Jarrett, official realtor of Loco Sports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections is our official home inspector, best in the biz. Jan Lucas and his team, gonna check it out, make sure it's good to go. And if you're building a new home, you got to have the phased inspection from Homegrown. They'll check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right. Hospice Care of the Low Country, our official hospice provider, and they are providing hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more at Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And we've got Max Arraj joining us, coming in a little late tonight. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys?
Saw you pop in.
Yeah.
It threw you right into the studio for a second.
Yeah, I don't know why. It does that to my phone every time. It does that to my phone. Like I accidentally hopped in one time on one of Carlo Cruz's interviews.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah,
That's
and
funny
he
stuff.
texted me after, and he was like, "How did you do that?" And I was like, "I have no idea. It just automatically hopped me in. I pressed the wrong button, and it hopped me in." But anyway, hey, it's great to be here on a Monday night. Man, what a great interview with Coach Doug
Awesome.
McFadden and Jake, man.
I'm just so happy for those
guys. Are incredible,
guys.
huh?
Yeah. What a well-deserved win.
Shout out to the boys in the comments too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get down to Sea Pines for an afternoon delight at some point in the season.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Getting
I'll
that
have to
first
book
one is
that
everything.
one day.
Yeah.
But our next guests are here, waiting in the green room, eating up all the snacks. The Hilton Head Sharks are getting together for another season. They got a big interest meeting tomorrow at USCB, so we wanted to help them promote that. We got Daryl Mitchell and Coach Ronnie Coolbaugh. What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
Welcome back.
Yeah, glad to be back, man.
It's football season all around now, boys. It's every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's football. You guys are getting back at it. You got a big interest meeting tomorrow over at USCB, trying to get some more guys out to play. So make your pitch. Tell us what kind of people you're looking for, and how they can get over there and find out more about the Hilton Head Sharks.
Okay, well, yeah, like I said, once again, thanks for having us. as far as the interest meeting tomorrow, we're just looking for just committed athletes, man. We're technically in our off season, so we're still trying to build our roster and get some momentum going into our spring season. So we're just looking for committed athletes, guys that just have the itch to play football and want to play at a decently high level. Those are the type of guys we're looking for. The reason we're hosting the interest meeting at USCB because we know there's probably some guys that either just graduated or hadn't been out of high school for too long and may not think that there's another opportunity to continue to play out there. So we just want to, come to them and show them, hey, there's football here. It didn't have to end with your high school career. And we got an opportunity here right in the Low Country for you to continue to play football.
Yeah, and real quick, before the other guys jump in, you pointed out to me a success story because we sometimes you talk about like it kind of seems like once you're out of like organized football or like school football, you're out. Like it's hard to get back in. But you had a guy who played for you and kept developing his skills and went and walked on at Savannah State and made the roster. Tyler Carmona. Going to be playing at Savannah State this season. So, tell us about the season he had for you guys and how he was able to keep his skills up and go over there and make the team.
All right. Well, yeah, Tyler, he just moved to the area last spring. He just moved down to Savannah and he was working for one of the local news networks. And he reached out. He said he was thinking about enrolling in Savannah State and he wanted to get some film so he could go out for the football team. And he came out. I mean, and first day, we could tell, man, this dude's got some skills, man. He's very quick, good hands. And he picked up the offense in like a couple of days. By his second practice, he had it down pat and played a couple games for us. We got him some good film. And he, at the end of the season, he's like, Coach, I want to do it, man. I'm going out. I've already reached out to the coaches and he happened to make the team, going into the fall. So I guess we'll be going out to Savannah to catch a couple games,
And they got new turf.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. So what was you guys most recent schedule like? Here, let me switch that up. Just went to a weird what was y'all's spring schedule like? How did it turn out for you? And what do you got coming up next?
All right, so yeah, this past spring, we did okay. We went what's 4-4, so 500. We still qualified for a bowl playoff, and that's what ended our season. We played a bowl playoff game at Hilton Head High School against a team out of Virginia. And matter of fact, they ended up winning that tournament. So I guess you can tolerate losing a little bit when you lost to the team,
Yeah, champ.
But we'll focus on the spring coming up. We actually joining a league this year. We haven't been in an official league in about probably 5 years. We kind of went to more of an independent model. Like we always say, we're like the Notre Dame of minor league football. We're just independent. We affiliated with a couple leagues, but we haven't been in a league. But there's a new league coming out this year. It's called Extreme Developmental Football League, and it's an all South Carolina league. I think it's based out of Columbia, and it's just the right time. The league's perfect. The travel's good for us. We feel like it's just time to get back on that schedule. So it's going to change our off season a little bit, but we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to being back in league competition.
That's awesome. Tell me about what the most fun parts are of being part of the Hilton Head Sharks, and how cool it is to see these former high school, college players get back at it and play for that passion, for that love, as they continue to be a part of the game of football.
Okay. Well, yeah, the most fun about it is just being around the guys. I mean, to play at this level, you really got to have a love for the game, and it's fun to be around that energy, and it's fun to just help guys, man. That's why we got into it, to help guys. Like seeing success stories like Tyler and Adam Becker. He's playing out there at Portland State, and you guys know about Chad and his travels. Like being able to have guys come to us and say, hey, man, coach, man, I just want an opportunity. And maybe I got overlooked in high school, or maybe my college career didn't go the way that I wanted it to go. Or maybe, I didn't play in high school, but I always wanted to play organized football. And to see those guys come and have success, and everybody bond around that, like, that's been the most enjoyable part about it.
Yeah. Any particular skill sets or positions we're seeking to solidify? Are we taking all comers?
Well, I'll let
everybody.
Yeah, I'll let our head coach talk about that. But yeah,
come on.
Right now, we're trying to build this roster up. I
Yep.
mean, we've got a lot of skill, but we can always add more. And then, as you guys know, football is won in the trenches, and that's our biggest area that we're looking for guys. Offensive and defensive linemen is not the glory positions, but it's the positions that you need to win. Those are the winning positions. So we're definitely looking for guys in that area.
Yeah, you gotta have dogs, and that's a hard sell when you start getting a little bit older. There's not a lot of cartilage left in those knees, and you got kids and mortgage and stuff. You start thinking about it, and it's a tough sell. So you need those young guys. Those guys that are fresh out of high school, still got fresh legs.
That's it. We still got some vets, but we definitely looking for young talent, man. Just guys that, like you said, got those good knees and got that youthful energy, and we've added some guys over the last, I'd say probably, since our last meeting, we probably added at least 10 guys, all young, all very raw. But they've got that youthful energy, and we accept the challenge of developing them. That's the biggest thing for us, man. We'll coach you up. We've got college level coaching, so we'll teach you the game. We'll get you where you need to be. You just got to bring that fire, and we'll take care of the rest.
Amen. You got one, Max?
Yeah. You guys mentioned you're playing in a new league this year. Any teams near this area that you guys will be playing this year?
Yes. So there's a team out of Charleston. There's a couple teams in Columbia, and then I'm hearing rumors that 2 of the Savannah teams are going to join. It would be the Richmond Hill Broncos and the Savannah Falcons. So they're close. Those are like our rivals. We've had back and forth with them for years. But that's that's a thing that really attracted us to this league, is just teams being close. So the travel will be a lot easier for us. And then you've got those rivalries. So every game is going to be intense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like plausible that you could have somebody like go to a road game, even a fan, nobody's traveling to Virginia or someplace to watch you play unless they're very closely connected to the team, most likely. But if you're playing in Savannah, they might make the trip over there. So you can start cultivate a little bit of a local fan base. That's great, man. So when is your next home game on the slate?
Okay, so we're gonna try to play 2 games to end the year. So right now we've got a date slated for November 2nd. That'll be home at Hilton Head High School. We're playing a team out of Florence, and then we'll schedule one more for the beginning of December. Most likely that'll be a away game, and then our league schedule is going to start in March.
All right, very good. All right, we'll have football all spring.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Good stuff. How many games will you play in league? I guess it depends on how many teams they get recruited.
Yeah, so the league, this is the format they're shooting for. So it's going to be it'll be a shorter regular season. So it'll be like 7 games, but every team makes the playoffs. So you're basically playing the regular season for seeding, and then it's just a tournament from there. So that really excites us. It'll make the regular season, because some teams, they start off slow or they don't have the record, they kind of give up. So, I think it'll make the regular season a lot more meaningful. Yeah. And then, like I said, it's just that, that tournament format to finish out, and it'll be exciting. Every game will be exciting. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, that'll be cool. Like you said, it keeps people in it. Even if they get off to a rough start, they keep recruiting, they keep building their roster. By the playoffs, they might be able to make a run, even if they're a low seed. So, and that's really what you need, because you got to keep everybody engaged and invested, or it's not going to work, right? Like a big part of why you're out there is because you still got those competitive juices, and you still want to go out and compete. So if you're not being competitive, that starts to dwindle real quick, and you're like, man, there's other things I could be doing with my evenings than this. So you got to keep them engaged there. But well, fellas, always great to talk with you. Anything else before we let you go?
Try out.
Just a few more announcements. So after the interest meeting tomorrow, we're going to have a tryout November 2nd at
September.
No, I'm tripping. Yeah, September 7th at the Hardyville Recreation Complex. So anybody that attends the interest meeting, or anybody that doesn't attend the interest meeting, everybody's welcome to come out to come try out, and then we're going to start our fall camp the following week. We'll have 2 practices back to back, and we'll hit the ground running from there.
Right on, man. And the interest meeting tomorrow, what time and where at USCB?
Okay, so it's starting at 7 p.m. We're going to be at the Hargrave Building, room 160, and we'll have signs up, directing the guys to come out, and it's players and coaches. Anybody that wants to be a part of the program is welcome to attend. Our full staff will be there. We'll have some players there as well, so you can meet some of the players. And it's just a good way to come and learn about our program.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks, fellas, and best luck with the interest meeting tomorrow. I hope you get a bunch of new Sharks signed up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Yeah, man. Take care.
Yeah, thanks.
Daryl Mitchell and Ronnie Coolbaugh. Always good to talk with those guys. I just love people who see something lacking, and instead of just complaining about it, they do it. They just make it happen. Those guys made something happen. They wanted to play football. There was nowhere to play football, so they created a place to play football, and they continue to enrich people's lives because of it. There's a bunch of dudes who still want to play, who get a chance to play because they put in the work behind the scenes and make it happen. So shout out to those guys. That's why I always got time for them. When they need to get in and say something, I got time for them, man, because they're making people's lives better. So that's cool. All right. Well, our varsity sponsors of LowcoSports, DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they're helping us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Loco. Dr. Ambrose Cole is the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports. They are the presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. You can take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. Gentlemen, circling back to our headlines for the day real quick before we talk a little more football. May River Girls Golf, they did lose, so to speak. They got second place at the Ainer Blue Jacket Invitational, finishing behind Chesney, a 2A school that blew it out. They shot 646. Sharks shot 681. They had a rough second day. So, I don't think they put their best foot forward there. Hilton Head finishing 5th with a 699, only 18 back of May River. So, don't count out the Seahawks here. They're going to be in the mix too. Claire Green won the individual title there with 73-77, won by 3 shots. For Hilton Head, though, Brooke Nicholas tied for 4th. Lexi Milbrand tied for 6th. So, they got a pretty good little 1-2 punch. Yeah, they got a good little 1-2 punch as well. So, on any given day, they might go toe to toe with
Claire
and Robin,
for some more
and then
local.
It comes down to the last 2. So
we'll definitely have a lot more local matchups between those 2 teams before we get to the last few when it really matters in the lower state and state tournament. But May River, certainly you can't expect you to be firing all cylinders every time you get out there. But Claire Green just continuing to absolutely
on a heater.
Yeah, absolutely excel. 73-77, a 3-shot individual victory. So May River doesn't win the team title, but they still get the individual champ in Claire, and she's quite the star out there on the course, and just such a consistently strong player, and that's someone you need to anchor the team. So huge congrats to Claire Green, and man, How about 2 wins in 2 days for Claire? She wins again on Monday today in a playoff at the Charleston Classic Invitational, and Maverick got the team championship there. So Claire Green on an incredible run right now.
Yeah, quite a heater. I'm trying to book her right now before I forget. We got to get her on the show this week.
That's a lot of golf to play in a short time and to win both. That is quite a feat.
All she does is win. She's going to Clemson. So that's good stuff. She's going to go play there. No, I love that kid. She's a great kid. And very happy for her and happy for our buddy Nate Campbell. Off to a great start over there. So that is that. And then I mentioned Whale Branch with a nice win tonight on the volleyball court. That was on Beaufort's Own. You can check that out. I've got Lowco Lights, although I'll warn you that Lowco Lights this week with 14 games on the schedule, there's not a lot of highlights from any game. It's a little blip from about every game. So we'll check out some other highlights as we go too. But I do have Lowco Lights queued up if you guys want to check it out.
Yeah.
Here we go. It was a great week. Lots of good vibes.
Yeah.
There I am.
And a ton of, you mentioned a ton of lopsided games, but a couple of tight ones, including the one you were at, Max, Hilton Head Christian Academy. That had to be a fun one to watch in person.
That's one of the lopsided ones.
Yeah.
That's one of the lopsided ones here. Seahawks dominating.
On the Stall Warriors.
Stall unis are looking nice, but Stall team not looking as nice. Seahawks dominated that one. I got some stats.
Oh, man, what a game from Carnell Warren.
Oh, yeah, Carnell Warren. What a game from Aiden McCarthy. 6 TDs, no picks in his debut as the QB1.
Oh,
that was a nice
beautiful grab. Heck of a time there from
put it in
McCarthy.
A good spot. Carnell made him look really good. Carnell's having fun.
Of the celebration at the end from
I think with that Bluffton team, dude, I think they're more dangerous than I originally thought they were going to be. I
do
honestly,
too, dude.
With that game against Whale Branch, I'm like, oh boy.
Beaver did not expect 57-0.
Yeah, Beaver might definitely have a team that's going to be in the running for region. If Bluffton can play like that, I know Whale Branch is, not at the level talent-wise as Bluffton is, but the way Bluffton ran over Whale Branch, I thought it was going to be a much different game than it was.
And here's your game, Max.
Yeah, here's your game. Yeah. Look at that pick. That was. They had a couple acrobatic picks in this game. The one by Foster on the goal line was really good too.
I tell you what, man, that defense for Christian Academy played much better than they did not last Friday, the Friday before against Fort Gal. They had a much better game.
Much better.
But I think I talked with Ron Peduzzi after the game, and I'll make sure to. I keep forgetting to put that interview up on my Instagram channel. We'll make sure to get it onto the Lowco channel as well. I talked with him. I was like, how do you feel after this game? He says, I feel a lot better about this team, but there's still things we definitely need to work on both sides of the ball. He thinks the defense was the stronger side of the ball in that game. He thinks offense has a lot of things they need to work on. But I think overall they played a good game, but I don't think that's the best game they could have put in front of them. I honestly think the way they were playing, if they would have corrected those mistakes, that second half would have been all Hilton Head Christian Academy. Like, I honestly think Christian Academy could have won by a solid 3-4 touchdowns. I think that because the way I saw Battery Creek play, they have talent on Battery Creek, but they're not there yet. And the other problem that Battery Creek had in that game was they had a lot of injuries and mainly cramps, but they had a lot of injuries and they just didn't look physically ready for this game. But I honestly think Christian Academy, if they would have cleaned up the mistakes, it would have been Christian Academy by a landslide. But I think, I talked with Peduzzi and he said there are things we need to work on, but, he's confident once those mistakes are fixed, that this Christian Academy team could be very dangerous.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree. I watched the highlights of that one on Beaufort's Own. and that defense was getting after it. They were playing fast and laying wood. I was impressed. They met the physicality. I did think Creek was a little bigger, a little bigger and stronger in spots, but I felt like the Christian Academy kids really stepped up the intensity to meet that physicality. And look at that. Now here's the best story of the night, though. I think this is it right here. Matt Gohagen, Patrick Henry had a heart transplant this summer, back on the sidelines with his team. And here's the best part: for the opening kickoff, they went with 10 players on the field. Mac was on the sideline.
Oh yeah, that's very cool. I love that.
That's one of the coolest things that I've heard. Stricklander let me in on that, and that was unbelievable. So, but lots of great stories this week, and I've got some more highlights that I want to show because some more people who need shout outs. This dude needs a shout out for show. Josh Gibson from Thomas Hayward. So
oh my gosh.
Let's just bring this up. We're going to start the game off. Opening kickoff. Josh Gibson to the house. He gone. Dude can fly. He really can. He is a speedy dude. So Hayward, you look at the offensive stats and you're like, man, well, they didn't do that much. Banner had like 97 and a couple touchdowns, and they didn't really throw it much. But that's because they did it all on defense and special teams, because now we got pick 6 going the other way. Then Bethesda makes it 14-8, and Josh Gibson enters the chat again on the kickoff. They try the squib, but he catches it in the air, and he's gone again.
Oh, he finds the seam, and there he goes.
My
kickoff returns in one game.
In one
My
half,
God.
even.
Yeah, that's
a touchdown
crazy.
pass, but I don't know why, because it's just Tony doing Tony things.
Ooh.
There he goes. Tony doing Tony things.
I'm excited because I'm going to be at that Carlton Prep Thomas Hayward game on Friday, and oh my God, I can't wait. I think that's gonna. If they can't, the way Josh Gibson's playing, if they can't find a way to stop him to a certain degree, Carlton Prep might have a bit of a struggle against Thomas Hayward if they can't find a way to stop Josh Gibson. But oh my God, I'm excited for that game because I really think it's going to be a Donnybrook. I really do.
I do too, man.
Especially the way Carlton Prep has been playing. Thomas Hayward's going to be at their best, but at the same time, I mean, it's hard to defend everybody on that THA offense, especially when you have Tony O'Banner out there. And we'll see how they attack special teams as well, but I'm sure they'll try to keep an eye on Josh Gibson all the time.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Like kick it to the other side of the field, maybe. But it was Colton Young with the pick 6, by the way. So
I think it's going to be. It's definitely up there for game of the week this coming Friday because I think those two teams are very closely matched up against each other, and the way you and Tim Alonso, I believe, was up there at Carlton Prep for their first game. You guys saw them as really good, really solid all-around team, and I think if there's anyone who can give Thomas Hayward a run for their money in that region, it's definitely Carlton Prep. So I really think this could be the game for the region title. Honestly, I really do.
I don't know yet. I don't know how it's going to shake out between Carlton Prep, BA, Patrick Henry. I think Thomas Hayward's the favorite, but I think who the second favorite is very much up in the air, and they all look good. PHA looked really good against Academic Magnet. Michael Tucker Mathis is a dude.
I think
Rylan Brunson was really solid at quarterback. So I think they're going to be good again. And don't sleep on BA either. They've got some serious talent over there.
I honestly think if Carlton Prep beats Thomas Hayward on Friday, this whole region is going to be shooken up by this. It's going to be. and then we're going to be like, we have no idea who's going to win this region
And
now.
it's doable. Walker Bryan is really running the ball well. He's tough. He's running tough. He had 220 and 4 touchdowns on 221 and 4 touchdowns on Friday. They got up 28-0 and then took the foot off the gas and ended up 28-13. But they're looking good, and they know that it's a step up in competition this level this week. But I think they're ready for the challenge, and it's a great environment at home. So you're going to get a treat, Max. That's going to be a Donnybrook.
I'm so excited for that game. I'm excited for that. To be back in
Lowco Donnybrook.
It's been a really long time since I've been at Colton Prep. So to go back to Walterboro and, get to experience that atmosphere, it's going to be really, really fun for me.
Yep, just park in one of the various church parking lots across the street. It's like 4 churches in a row. You can just park in any one of them. But man, we had some serious Player of the Week candidates this week. Walker Bryan, 221 and 4 on the ground. Caleb Gadsden for Bluffton, 11 tackles, 2 for loss, 2 sacks, PBU, fumble recovery for a touchdown. Lewis Gadsden from Hardyville, 3 touchdowns. I'm waiting on his rushing total. Come on, boss man, hook me up. Andrew Massey from Hilton Head, just sophomore, 10 tackles, 2 for loss, interception, 2 fumble recoveries, 1 for a touchdown, and a safety.
Wow.
That's
some numbers, man. Wow.
Michael Tucker Mathis from PHA, 13 for 138 rushing with 3 touchdowns, 4 for 53 receiving, 3 tackles, a sack, 2 picks, 1 for a touchdown.
Wow.
Well, and he kicks.
That's crazy.
Aiden McCarthy, 14 of 20, 281 passing, 6 TDs, 5 for 29 rushing. Donovan Robinson for THA, one of many defensive standouts, 11 tackles, pick 6, PBU. That might have been his pick 6. He and Colton Young each had one, so I don't know which one we saw. Jalen Singletary, 10 for 225 rushing, 2 touchdowns, and a pick on defense. I'm going to show you his play of the week and maybe play of the season in a minute. And then Winston Smith, 9 for 181 rushing for Ridgeland with 2 touchdowns, 3 for 56 receiving and a touchdown. And Carnell Warren from Bluffton, 7 for 94 receiving, 4 touchdowns. So that's the ones I got on the short set.
We got that work cut out for me this week. My God.
There's a bunch of other good ones too.
Tough choices.
But let's check out some Hampton County highlights. Here's Jalen Singletary with the pick on the tip. And then he's scooting around back there. I thought he might break it for a second, but they got him by the face mask. And remember Catman Risher?
Yeah.
Baby brother, Javen. Look at this dude.
Oh, man.
He's a sophomore, by the way. He's a sophomore. He had 11 for 117. And then this is the play of the season, perhaps. Jalen Singletary bounces it out. They got him hemmed in right here, but no, they don't. Now watch this.
Man.
Dude.
Step back, bam. I cannot overstate how hard.
I'll tell you what, it is hard. It's hard to
Rush
replace a
each
guy
other.
like Zion Dobson from last year, but they got another
They
good
got a
one this
two-headed
season.
monster.
Singletary.
Oh, this is a beautifully designed play, too. They check to the
Boving with the stars
sideline
from last season.
right before the snap.
Oh.
Watch this. Middle screen for Bovain. Look out.
Goodbye.
Don't let him get ahead of steam.
Yeah, they've got some speed on this team.
Can
They got some hunger.
Now watch this one. 98-yard run by Jalen Singletary. Started on the 1.
Oh my gosh.
Ends on the 1. Ends on the 1.
Ever seen anything like that? That's crazy.
That's my vote, bro. Jalen Singletary.
My gosh.
Allegedly, he was called sorry by Colleton players on social media in the week leading up to the game. Oops. Look at this. This is baby Catman. Javen Risher. Look at this. Escaping in the end zone. Making something out of nothing.
Jeez.
Oh,
Kitty
man,
cat.
they've got some athletes on this team.
Oh, yeah, man.
One guys.
Can I just say, I know I chose Colton County on Thursday. Colton County's good, but I definitely regret making that decision.
Mistakes were made.
The Hampton County team, they're looking like I know it's just one game, but they look like a team that is going to be a tough out again this year, even with a couple big losses that we saw at the end of last season, including Dobson, Cody Seegers as well defensively. But man, this group's still going to be really, really good, and it might be a very good opportunity. With some of those bigger schools like in Oceanside, like a Gray moving up, it's the doors open for Hampton County this year. If they went to
And
advantage of
Abbeville
it.
staying down.
Yeah,
Abbeville being a 1A helps too.
oh for sure.
Like
Huge.
it's there.
Oh,
There's a
definitely.
path.
Now there'll still be
100%.
competition for sure, but the
Oh
opportunity
yeah,
certainly.
it'll be tough. That 2A lower state is no joke. You get up into the Marion, Manning, all those guys. It's it's a slog through the playoffs.
But I mean, you mentioned it.
I talked with
Justin,
Hannah, and he said the biggest concern for them right now is just they don't have depth, especially in the trenches. They get tired by the end of the half, So they're working on that, and that's where you got to have guys that you can run in when somebody needs a couple plays off, and they're just not there yet. So they got to leave guys in even when they're gassing. And you saw them kind of lose steam at the end of the first half. And I asked him about that. I was like, guys, just let your foot off the gas. And he said, no, we were out of gas. Like we needed to get to the locker room. They started kind of trying to milk the clock and get to the locker room because they were tired. So they'll get there though.
Yeah, I mean, you
they
mentioned
play so freaking hard all the time. You're going to get tired.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned last week, Justin. I mean, this team, you mentioned that they were faster, stronger than they were last season, and it definitely showed in that game. But, again, like you said, depth is going to be a problem, which I think when you get to the lower states, like you mentioned, it's no joke. And, I think they'll figure out a way to make sure that depth is there. I really, man, this Hampton County team is no joke. I mean, they are. I honestly, I mean, there is definitely a path there for a potential chance at a lower state title and maybe even the state title. So I really like this Hampton County team, and boy, it's gonna be fun to watch them this year.
Me too, Bubba.
Me too.
And I'm excited for Whale Branch Hardyville. Which Buford Zone is trying to get approval to broadcast that one. I'm hoping they can get it because I definitely want to see my boys on TV. But that's going to be a good one. That's going to be fun. Whale Branch going to be mad, straight up mad after last week. And our boys are riding high, but they're also, they're pretty humble today. They were excited, but they know that Whale Branch is coming and they're going to be ready to fight. So I'm looking forward to that. It was good to see my guys put their heads up.
I'll be over on the Isle of Lays, which would be another really good one. Buford, their home opener against Greenwood. And I think it's a fantastic bounce back opportunity, but that Greenwood squad is going to bring a tough battle over there to the Low Country. Buford's going to have to once again, be on their game like they were a week ago, just falling up a bit short. But I think they'll get it done in a close one. I'm just pumped to see this team in action and the way Bryce Lybrand's squad looks, and that home atmosphere is always so fun. Those Kirkland Crazies at the stadium over there at Buford High, man, just those are always so fun to be a part of. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Buford has in store this year because they want to prove themselves early, especially seeing how good Bluffton could be and seeing how good some of these other region teams could sneakily be with a Hilton Head and potentially May River being a threat. So a lot to showcase for Buford in this game, and it would be nice. Obviously, they're playing some tough teams. You never want to start 0-2. You'd love to get that win to put yourself in the win column.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the other games I think is going to be very interesting is the game over at the Nest between Hilton Head High School and James Island. I think that game could be actually very interesting. I know James Island has now made the move to 5A, but I really do think this Hilton Head team is a team to keep a very close eye on. I know Stall is not the best team, to start off your season against. They just haven't had a strong program in quite some time. But I really, the way Hilton Head High School played last Thursday, I really do think they're another team in the conversation in that region.
Yep.
I really do. I really think they're a stronger team than I think a lot of us expected them to be. So I really like the way they're looking, but I really want to see how they can do in their first, I guess, real big challenge against James Island.
Yeah, I was on record. You can go back and watch. I said don't sleep on Hilton Head this year. BJ really likes this group of guys. It's the same as it always is. The depth is lacking. If they lose a couple of key guys, it'll go south. Depending on which guys it is, but they like their ground game. Renijeski, it was a good intro for him. He's definitely gonna, the game speeds up significantly this week, so we'll get a much better idea of them this week. But don't sleep, because the running backs are really, really good, and they got some playmakers around too. Marcus will make his debut, Marcus Walsh, this season. JP2 at Battery Creek, by the way. That was originally on the schedule for JP2, but Cross is again at home on Friday using the same field. So JP2 is at Battery Creek on Friday. Cross has the Kings Academy coming to City Hall, as we call it in Hardyville. Nobody calls it Richard Gray or whatever the name of that field is in Hardyville. They all call it City Hall.
City Hall, all right.
Yep. There's speculation. We don't know where the Canes are going to play this week, but we think we're going to play on campus. But apparently there's also the possibility of Ridgeland or City Hall. But I think we're playing on campus. So that's the plan. We hope so. Kids want to play on campus, and I agree. Well, hey, boys, I think we are coming to a close here. Let's shout out the Lowco Booster Club, Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court. They're with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, including the Lowco Swag Store. Go check it out and get your stuff. I'll drop the link in the comments here in a minute. And we've also got Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Chris Odom and his team will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go in for great conversation, come out looking stylish. Hudson's Seafood House on the docks, the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. They'll be back in the studio tomorrow at 10 over at USCV. And also Hurricane Sports Cafe, where I was hanging out Friday night doing the show, running command. It was I got that hurricane burger. Ooh, doggy, it's good. I get that hurricane sauce on there, the pineapple salsa. Oh, it's good. It was good. Sammy got him some wings. It was chilling there after the game. Had some people coming to celebrate the win for the Canes, so it was good. Any parting thoughts, boys?
Yeah, well, it is Monday, which means it is our first opportunity for our teams of the week for this new 2024-25 school year, and I got a good one. I think it's the right call. First win in over 1,000 days, as mentioned by the Dolphins. It has to be Hilton Head Prep. They deserve it. The Dolphins getting back in the win column. Huge congratulations to Coach Doug McFadden and that entire team. Tremendous accomplishment as they defeat St. Andrews 18-13. A very, very tight game. But the defense coming up huge with the interception return to provide the difference. And, it seemed like it was possible after what I saw against BA, but they really put it all together in different ways. Defense came up enormous late to finish it off. And so, I mean, just for especially those upperclassmen, juniors and seniors, I'm just so happy and proud for those guys who have put in the effort throughout this process and this journey. And for Coach McFadden to get that first dub and to get it at home, that's huge momentum.
How great is that guy?
That program, great guy.
How great is that guy?
Fantastic.
We're really
guy.
fortunate that he's entered our orbit, and the kids at Hilton Head Prep are really lucky. Outstanding hire, knocked it out of the park. I just love that guy. Glad he's in my in my life, like in my world. It just makes it a better place. So shout out there, and also shout out to the MVPs in the comments section tonight. They brought it. Max, who's your team of the week?
I'm gonna have to go with Bluffton. I really think that Bluffton team just showed everyone that they're ready to go. They're ready to be that team to, fight against Buford. I really think, they showed everyone that they're better than what was expected, and, that Whale Branch team, again, they don't have the talent to, I don't think, compete with Bluffton, but, for Bluffton to play the way they did, Carnell Warren, McCarthy, all those guys, the way they played, I think it shocked us all how well they played as a unit, and I really do think that they are, among some of the top teams in the lower state area.
Yeah, they definitely looked the part. The defense, the offense, I knew what we were getting, right? Like we knew that offense was going to be lethal, but the defense playing the way it played, the number of guys who were super productive.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just like one or two dudes. Like it was everybody was getting after it. I came away really impressed with that. I think that was because I kind of thought, Bluffton was kind of in the same tier with May River and Hilton Head and like, who would be number 2 in that region. And now I kind of see Buford and Bluffton in a tier, and then May River and Hilton Head a baby step below, like I felt like Bluffton did a little bit more for me than anybody else this week to improve their stock with me, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think before, that game on Friday, I think a lot of people thought Buford was the favorites to win this region.
Yeah.
I don't
still
think,
do. I still think
they're the favorite, but I think that gap between Buford and Bluffton has closed quite a bit.
It's a little narrower than I thought it might have been, I think. So that's going to be a great game.
Oh, for sure.
Great game. I mean, that's two really good coaching.
I mean, statewide
playing chess, and it is going to be really fun. That's gonna be one more to see. I hope Beavertown does that one so I can watch the whole thing.
I would think that would be a priority because
I would think so too. I think that one's a must. Well, I'll go off book and not go football for team of the week, and I'll do 2 shout outs. We've talked about them a good bit tonight, but obviously May River girls golf worthy of love always. But I will also give a little shout out to JP2 volleyball and then that 7-0 start that they're off to. Gonna get tougher. They've got Hilton Head Prep tomorrow at home, and then they have a couple with Cross, and then they got May River on the 4th. That'll be a really interesting matchup. May River going to JP2 for what could be a cool little, cross classification matchup. But JP2, that team's been solid for a number of years now. Louise Sanders does a good job with that program, and they're off to another hot start. So gotta give them some love. All right, boys, any parting thoughts?
Yeah, I have a good one. It involves my Boston Red Sox, but it was for any Major League Baseball fan one of the most historic events in just because of how crazy it was, because we talk about all the time. Every time you go to a baseball game, you never know what you're going to see, and for those folks who got to Fenway, they got to see something that has never happened before in the history of Major League Baseball, which is saying something because it's been around since the 1800s. But for the first time, we saw a player play for both two teams of a Major League Baseball game. And the way that happened was because they started the game in June. It was delayed or suspended due to rain. And then meanwhile, between then and now, the Blue Jays traded Danny Jansen to the Red Sox. And lo and behold, they finish up their game here today, and Danny Jansen gets to play for both teams during the span of that game. So just absolutely crazy scenes over there at Fenway. Just the consequence of history at the Major League level. I mean, this is something that you probably won't see again, most likely, but it's going to be a staple trivia question for I mean, that's a staple trivia question going forward in baseball history. And funny enough, the game ended with Danny Jansen striking out as the Blue Jays won. Funny way to see them.
Wow, that's perfect. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really cool as a
so-
baseball fan to always hear, because it's just a really fun, crazy game. You just never know what could happen in a baseball game, and the intricacies of baseball, where you can see something like this happen, is just really cool.
I couldn't
And-
even like tell you what the rule was on that. You know, like if he started on the lineup card for one team, can he even still be on the lineup card for the other team? But
Right.
apparently so. But he wasn't in the game yet, right? Or was he? Did he
Well,
actually
he was the
appear in
catcher.
game
He was
for
the
both
catcher.
teams?
Yeah, he was
appeared in
the
the game
catcher
for
when the
both
game
teams?
resumed.
But was he in the game before
Right.
before it stopped for Toronto?
Yes. Yeah, he
was.
was in the lineup.
So you're allowed
for-
to be in the lineup for both teams? I would have bet $1 million that you weren't. I would have said there's no way that you can be eligible to be in the lineup if you've already been in the game for the other team, but I'll be damned. Huh. They might change
Yeah.
that rule. That seems like you're going to tear a hole in the space-time continuum or something. You can't have a guy in both lineups. Wait, Danny Jansen's on both teams. What? That's crazy. Max, you got anything to leave us with?
Yeah, shout out to Florida, man, on the Little League World Series championship win, man. What an ending! I don't know if you guys watched that game, but oh my
Crazy
gosh,
game.
what a crazy ending to that game. I feel,
I felt
obviously,
so bad for the Chinese Taipei kids, though.
yeah, I felt bad for them, but you know what, Florida. I think this is their first championship in quite a while too. So congrats to them. That was a great moment, and that's definitely gonna be remembered in the future for the history of the Little League World Series. That's gonna be one of those games to definitely remember. I mean, what a game for Florida. They came back from being down, and took out the win in extra innings. So well, what a cool moment for them, and
Yeah,
congrats
and
to Florida.
thankfully, the third base coach doesn't have to regret holding the runner at third on that base hit to the beginning before they
Yeah.
walked it off.
Yeah.
Where it looked like I don't think the throw would have been there, or would have been on. It needed to be on time, and I think the run would have scored. But in hindsight, sometimes you want to play it safe. But that's a moot point now, because they ended up winning the thing.
Yeah.
And then ended on that crazy bunt play where the guy no one was covering first base,
Overthrew
and
first,
got through the wet. So congratulations to Florida. I believe that was the first ever Little League World Series victory for the state of Florida. So
Really?
Oh, really?
I wonder
Okay.
how long they've even played Little League, because they played Dixie too. So
Yep.
I know it's been a while. I know it's been a while since they played in their last Little League World Series championship game, because I know they've been in a couple. But yeah.
I thought the coolest
What a
thing was the
moment.
way the Florida kids, like, obviously they immediately celebrated winning, but almost immediately after, they went and were consoling their opponents.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's great to see.
it was
That's-
it was a battle, man. Those kids were getting
Yeah.
after it. Those Chinese Taipei kids, they are incredible. Like they
Oh,
throw
yeah.
the ball
Really
so
defense.
hard and with such precision. And like you said, he just automatically got up and made the right play. He fired a strike to first base, and there was nobody there.
Right.
But he knew what he was supposed to do with the ball, and but they didn't have the right. They didn't cover the
Always
bag.
covered the bag.
Yep. First baseman got to stay home. That's cowboy all the way. You gotta send the pitcher to cover everything there. But no, it was a heck of a game, heck of a weekend, heck of a show tonight. Enjoyed talking with Doug
man.
Doug McFadden, who I always want to call Doug Underwood for some strange reason. Doug McFadden and Jake Sheahan. That was fantastic. I'm so happy for those guys, and I do believe it's the first of several this year. I think they're gonna make a little noise
I
in
agree.
that region.
Yeah, I agree.
And, a home playoff game's not out of the question. Like,
No,
the
it's
region's
not.
cool.
gettable. Region's kind of gettable. So I'm hopeful for those guys. I think they could string a couple together here. And then thanks to the guys from the Sharks, Daryl Mitchell and Ronnie Coolbaugh. always good to talk with those guys. And like I said before, it's just, it is what it is. It's minor league football. A lot of people kind of look down their nose at it, but it's an opportunity for guys who still love the game and want to keep playing it to go play it. And those guys put in a ton of work and a ton of resources into to keep that thing up and running. So, like I said, I always have time for them when they got something big they need to promote. We'll always get them in here for a few minutes. So, shout out to those fellas. Go if you got the itch. If you're watching all this football and you're missing it, you've been away from the game for a year or 2 or 20, and you're jonesing for it. Go see the Hilton Head Sharks guys over 7:00 tomorrow night at USCB for the interest meeting and get signed up. But thanks so much to our guests tonight, as well as all of our sponsors, and to all of you who showed up to listener watch. We'll be back tomorrow night, same time, same bat channel, 9:30, Loco Sports Lowdown. We'll line up some great guests for you, and we'll see you then. For Max Arraj and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till tomorrow night, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.